Congratulations, you found the one station that plays Ghana's best urban music.
YFM.
Listen to YFM 107.9 Accra, 102.5 Kumasi, and 97.9 at Takoradi.
My guest on Wiley the Board series this morning. Good morning, sir, and thank you so much for honoring our invitation. It's good to have you out here with us.
Good morning, Reverend Eskin.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me here.
It feels like a movie. Since you're an actor, I mean that's I think the right word to use. It feels like a movie, having you sit right before me here. I mean, some of us grew up watching you on TV.
Yeah. Well.
When I went to Legon, I remember I had the opportunity of switching my course to do performing arts, and when I decided, maybe I'll put a pause to this and think about it later. Faces that came into mind. Yours was part, telling me, "Are you seriously leaving us?" But then, I went to pursue economics, and by God's grace, I'm still back here, in the field doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for, coming through. And I mean, you've been a great inspiration to a lot of us. People who have interest in creative arts, film, production, all that, and then more. I mean,
Yeah.
I believe today's interview will be a blessing to a lot of us. We're here to find out the story behind, the personality we know today, the good parts, especially the very bad ones, the bad moments. Because people believe once you get to the top, you haven't seen any bad moments. But we'll definitely, dive into all that. I'm super interested in us starting off with movies. But let's start off deeper into your upbringing. What kind of family did you grow up in? Where were you born? How was childhood life for you?
Well, thank you once again, and delighted to be part of this program, and then also greeting your listeners. Especially the youth.
Yes.
I'm today really, I'm here to speak to the youth really. So so how did I start off? Yes, some Tema boy.
TMA in the
Tema
building.
for life. Yeah, I was born in Tema to the late Ekow Blankson, and then also Mrs. Felicia Blankson. They're late now, but we grew up in Tema, okay? And then if you know the thing about the philosophy about the Tema guys, we would forever live in Tema and die in Tema.
Tema never leaves you, It stays with you forever.
So that's how we go. My father worked with State Fishing Corporation as an auditor. My mother also was doing some fish business, that kind of thing. I would say that I wouldn't say that we came from a very affluent, family, that kind of thing. It was just okay that we could go to school. I attended Datus preparatory.
Great.
So that's something that
in itself has a little bit of DB in there, Datus.
Yeah, that is,
Right.
and so, I mean, those times when you were in Tema and you attended Datus, we were always thinking, we shall put pepper in your eyes, the decks and all those places. So we were kind of good with our upbringing, and mostly we spoke English at home, and my father insisted that we speak English, although we speak, my mother is Ada and my father is Fanti, so from Mankasim, but he didn't want us to be speaking more, so we spoke English at home, and so that also helped us a bit. I think my mother insisted that we speak the Ada, so of course I understand.
You still have that in there?
Yes, I still have it. And then also the fact that I was in Cape Coast at Isabel College, throughout, it gave me that opportunity to also speak some Fanti. So yeah, that's it.
What kind of child were you? Since you are in the creative arts, people would naturally expect you to be a talkative, a super outgoing child. Were you that kind growing up?
Surprisingly, I wasn't that kind, outgoing, playing a lot. But there's something I would say, and I believe that people can relate to this. My elder brother, he's in the US now, used to beat me a lot. Reason was that I didn't know how to play football. And every time he was going, I wanted to come along with him. And, you know, those times it was abate. They used to call it abate. You come in the middle and everything. And I was always in the middle, and, you know, they were laughing, always laughing at him. And so he would come and try and get the ball and get into the middle and then knock me and tell me, go home. So I was mostly with my mother in the kitchen. I would go and tell my mother, and then my Ebo has just beaten me, so I've left. But one thing I was doing, which my brother didn't like, was when I was in Datus, we did a lot of cultural things. So the cultural performances, I mean, I dance.
Okay.
I dance a lot. I dance well. The cultural dances
Cultural
and everything.
choreography.
So, as a choreography do. So I was getting involved in that, and then also maybe did some drama, poetry recitals and stuff. And I was doing those things, and he didn't like it. You know, and I was like, oh, look, you don't want me to follow you to play football. This is what I find my talent doing. And then you always come and tell my mother, look, go and see.
He's always dancing. It's not focusing on
you know, like you know, that kind of thing. So I continued with that, and I realized that I found myself enjoying that more. So I continued with that, and it has lived with me ever since, from the days of class 2 all the way to the Untitled College, and then to the university, and still
with you.
Yes,
I love that. Around that time, I mean, you just mentioned that you grew the love for performing and all that. But did you have other ambitions, career-wise? Did you see yourself doing anything else in there? Did you even see a career in that?
Well, you know, I can see that when I finished the secondary school, that's at the Untitled College, I could still go and do law. No, that's what my father really wanted. Do something, do law, do this, that kind of thing, or political science, that kind of thing. So I passed. I got the grades for it. All right, but I said to me, in fact, at that time, I had really identified the talent. I identified it quite early, as I've said already. From that was early. Then I went to chase some girl in some church. That's for another day. We're not talking about that.
We won't touch on that.
I went to and they were doing a drama. So she said, I see you writing a lot of poems, and you're always poetic in the things you say and everything. Can you come and see what we are doing, see whether it's good? And when I got there, you know, I seriously, I saw a lot of mistakes with what they were doing. I was like, director,
maybe if you can do this way.
Can you do it this way? He said, oh, you know what? Can you come and demonstrate what you're saying? And I got into it. I got into demonstrating what I thought. Was like, you're not leaving this role. I'm like, I am not part of your church. He says, well, you're not leaving yours. That's how I got into International Central Gospel Church, actually. So, and one thing led to another, accepting God and all of that, you know. And leaving Takrady, I was doing my national service at the time.
Okay.
I left Takrady, came to then Bathing Power. Bathing Power. I'm sure those who were my
bring back
peers,
a lot of memories.
if they're listening to me, that's where we started ICGC in Accra. Bathing Power. We were doing great things, creative things, you know, cultural things, you know, mixing it with
inculcating that with the gospel and all that.
And we're praying a lot. I mean, before Otabil will come on stage, we'll do a skit, and it was in line with his message and everything. So that was something, and I realized that no, this is what God really wanted me to do. And so I was mostly on the stage of the church. And so when it was time to go to university, my father insisted, yes, do law. I said, no, I will do performing arts. And believe me.
Your mind was made.
Yes, believe me, I went to the school. But those are times when you go to the school of performing arts, you got to do an entrance exam, and you got to do an interview, even though you've got the grade. You know, because it was not. It's a skillful area that you know they need to pick the right people,
and it's passion driven.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if you don't have it, it's not about just any academic work that you're going to do. I don't know what it is now, but I believe that those things are not there again. So doing the diploma course, the first time I went, I applied and all that, I went and I failed.
You failed?
Yes.
After all the things you thought you knew?
Yes, I failed. And my mentor, I mean, Professor Martin Owusu, was like, looked at me and was like, I believe you can do it, but you've just failed. You have not given. I don't know what it was.
Wait, that in itself is...
I'm telling you.
I believe you can do it.
Yes.
But you
he
failed.
says, I believe you can do it. But there's something wrong with you. You know, and I'm like, I don't know. I thought maybe just seeing all the array of people I used to see on TV and all of that probably gave me some butterflies. I don't know what happened. Then I said to myself, this won't happen again. I waited 1 year. I went to teach and all that, you know. 1 year, and I've applied again. And this time, when I went,
you did tremendously well.
I mean, I played 3 different roles as one person. I'm talking about 3 different characters. You know, I played a father, I played a son, I even played a mother. You know, that kind of thing. And it was like, okay, that's it. You're in.
When you were failed, or when you failed,
yes,
and you had to come back a year after, what were the things you changed?
No,
in that year.
What I did was just to go back. I mean, do learn a lot more, go deeper into characterization, go to the School of Performing Arts
itself
when they were having their performances, and I just go and observe. Those were the times where I would go into the market. I find a madman. And I would stand, even though I had something to do, I would stand aside and keep looking at this man on how they're performing and what they're thinking. Probably go into the minds of the madman and think about what he's thinking and why he's acting the way he's acting. You understand? Those are the things. I would stand in the market and look at women, you know, arguing, that kind of thing, selling and all that. So different characters. We looked at those things. So it's not come really easy. We worked for it.
You had to put in extra work to ensure that it goes.
Yes.
I'm still interested in not staying on that path, but let's just break off that for a minute. You touched on a disco along the line. How were your days there? What kind of students were you? I was told you had a nickname. If you'd be honest enough to give us that name, I'd be very happy. Yeah.
Oh. These guys are listening. Well, anyway, they used to call me Aseto.
Aseto?
And they still call me that.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. More like it's set, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, Aseto, so, you know. And he kept
so I was told, right? I was told they give you that nickname because you were always ready. Ekow won't say no. Ekow is the type that would say, okay, let's give it a try.
I always believe in. So that's one of the things. Is I was always getting us to move on and do things more in the artistic line. Well, again, when we talk academics and everything, I was a literature person. I was not mathematical at all. I was more literature and Bible knowledge. So the Bible knowledge prizes were things
always
that
coming to your side, right?
I was always carrying it. And one of the things that I can say about my days in school, those were the times where people used to bring home you know. They bring home cho. They bring when it's visiting time. They bring nice food and everything. I never got that.
Why?
I don't know. I never got anybody to visit me. My mother, my father would just pass when he's going on trek. Would just pass through
And say hi.
and say hi, and just drop some money if he can. Or sometimes he say, go to my office and take some money or something, But I never got that thing where people come, cars, and then they'll open a booth, and then they'll be playing music, and then they will be eating. And I always go and what we call sponge, I go and eat some. So one of the days, I think at Form 5, I got a prize again, Bible knowledge, and my auntie was sweet. I mean, she was helping me but that was the day she came, and I was so happy. She brought jollof.
Wow.
And I was I can remember that. I was so happy. I went to hide the jollof so that, I wanted to show to people that
you also got it, yeah.
Yeah. When it was time to remove the jollof, I didn't know how to store it well.
It had gone bad.
Hot jollof had gone bad.
Wow. The only jollof Ekow had gone bad because he couldn't store it properly. I think you were overexcited.
Yes, that was the whole thing, and that was the first time. I mean, we were getting it like every week, and then out of how many years I got it, and then I messed it up.
Apart from Prof, who you mentioned as your mentor,
yes,
when you were trying to get into the School of Performing Arts, way before that, I mean, during your senior high school dates, even younger, did you have any childhood, mentors, anybody you looked up to? Role model to say?
I would say that before, I mean, when I was in church, Otabil was somebody I really looked up to. I mean, there was nothing he wouldn't say that I would not agree with. I really looked up to him a lot. So yes, and then in my university days, obviously my lectures were all great, but I really drew closer to Miss Alberta Gardner because she was my speech lecturer, and really I liked to do that. I followed her to GBC even before I finished school to try and do some broadcasting training and stuff like that. So I really liked those people, especially were drawn towards my career or what I thought I would do. Yes.
These days things are far advanced. There's technology, TVs everywhere. Help us understand how your days were like. I mean, it's not too far from now, when we dated back, but how were things like? Performing arts.
All
that.
Yes. So let me go way back again. I mean, those were the days where they sacked you to go and have a bath before you can come and watch Osofo. Yeah, I mean, I was in those days. But now I see it happening all around us, where we have televisions and everything. So many things happening, and that is the reason why I'm here today to speak to the youth. I think that they've run so fast. Technology has really run so fast. I believe that the matching technology with what needs to be done, really, there's a problem.
There is a problem.
I think in our days where we used to sit in the library, read and take notes while you're reading. I don't think it's there anymore. So yes, I've got the phone. I can go and Google and find a thing, and then I leave it because I can always go to.
You can always refer. As against, you sticking it up there just so you don't have to walk all the way back to the library again.
Yes, walk to BAM Library, sit there, come back to African Studies to refer, come back to the School of Performing Arts.
The BAM Library just brought back a lot of memories. If we're to get $1 each for the time we spend at BAM Library, I will have $0. I saw BAM Library like this, but I never entered.
You never entered?
Never.
My God.
My friends will go pick the books, and of course we have technology, and so just let me know who wrote the book. I'll get the e-copy at home or in the hostel, and then get it going. What kind of amendments did you have to make? Let me use the word amendments. What kind of changes do you have to make in order to fit in perfect? Because you went through a lot in qualifying to even get in, but when you got in, did you have to cut off friends? Did you have to, do more than what the regular student did? What kind of changes did you have to make in order to maintain that perfect balance in becoming a good student and also having a good time in school?
Yes. Yes. When I got in, then I said to myself, I need to put myself together with the people who already know. So yes, I had my colleagues and everything, my people like Jivagomashi and all the names. We were great. I needed to be closer to the people who have done it before, who have done things. So Bill Riverson was already there, was a senior.
I used to call him the Englishman.
Yes. And so many names. And I those were the times when you went to the School of Performing Arts as a first year student, and you can't do anything on stage. You have to be backstage if you want to do anything. And I got involved with that. I mean, I was spending all of my time at the School of Performing Arts because I enjoyed what they were doing, and I was helping backstage. Now, what people didn't know, or people don't know up to today, was that I served a Bibi Groma.
Wow.
Bibi Groma was the resident theater company. So I served. I mean, when they were doing things, even when they have to carry a flat, we call it flats, into their car to travel, to go somewhere to go and perform, I would be there to help and everything. I was not that kind who felt that, cool,
And all these were not contributing to your academic work?
No.
These were things you did on the side?
Yes, exactly.
Just to better yourself?
Yes. So once I was doing all that, when you're doing things, you feel that people don't look at you. But everything we do, you're being observed. Everything, for everything. That's one thing that the youth must know. They think that life is just, nobody's looking. But for everything we do, you're being observed. And that's what happened. While I was doing all these things, I was being looked at. Oh, this is that kind of thing. And then sometimes, I would help people read their scripts. Oh, hold your script. Like, we needed to memorize the lines and everything. And I'll be there and that kind of thing. I was one of the very first year students who was put on stage at the School of Performing Arts.
Because of your efforts?
Exactly. And it was that's something I always say, and ever since I've always been around. He was then Dr. Martin Owusu. I've always been around Professor Martin Owusu because he was actually the director for Bibi Groma, and we did the story and as he told Okonfanochi and everything, and I played roles in that. The gods are not to blame, and I was there because every time they were moving, I was doing something with them, like I said. And when it was vacation, I mean, I hardly would go home. I'd go home campus and then come back because there was something to be done. I think that is missing in our youth right now.
In our current dispensation.
Yeah, I think they're more involved in all about social. Okay, what are my friends thinking? What are the things that we can do to, that will not be? But they're not thinking about me and my career, more or less. How I can move from one step here to the other. Okay, and if you're always dealing with your peers who do not know, you end up being at the same place. But if you're always working with somebody who knows better than you, that person would always advise you.
And somebody that has similar interest in what you want.
Interest and has gone farther than you, the person will tell you, do it this way. I think that if you did it this way, it will work for you. If you did that way, it will work for you, that kind of thing. We don't have friends who are older than us who have gone into the things that we want to do. And so I think that career counseling is not just about going to school and then they say, hey, there's a career counseling class,
there's a guidance,
or whatever, guidance, tell you what are their courses and everything. No, it's not just that. It's about the practical nature of things. Who is your friend? What has that person done? What can that person do for you? How can he help you to advance in what you're doing? And I think that is one of the things that has brought me this far.
Wow. You had to sacrifice a lot, obviously. Did you by any chance or at any point receive some form of a position for your choices, the kind of choices that you made? Because you are a young guy.
Yeah.
You could be home helping family, but you decided, you know what, I'm going to stay on campus and do things that were not giving you any salary back then. If I'm not mistaken, were you getting paid for that? No,
not at all. You don't get paid for it, and then even those times, you don't get anything. Spending your time and everything. They used to call us Dondology.
That was the name I met, actually. Dondology. But I'm sure you had deeper
and there's
joy.
nothing like that. There's not like Dondology. It's because under the trees we learned to play drums, the music side of things. So Dondo, and then they made Dondology. So they make fun of you, But today I sit here, and that Dondology that you used to laugh and everything is what has made me. I have not gone to any marketing class. I mean, I didn't go to marketing school or finance school or everything. But today, when you're mentioning people who have done marketing in
your
this
name definitely
country,
comes in.
My name is mentioned. I mean, I'm a full member of the CIMG. What are we? And it's because of the School of Performing Arts. It's the dedication. What I saw beyond just the craft of it and what I could learn. I always tell, when I have the opportunity to speak to people, I tell them, look, we did something called, and I did directing, where you move people on stage, you group them, this person speaks from here, where you speak, you move here and move there. That's segmentation in marketing. And everything that we do is branding. I mean, putting a thing together, the aesthetics and everything. How do you communicate to your audience so that they can understand what you're doing? It's all marketing.
And all these things are things you learned through your dedicated service to performing arts.
Yes.
Are these things, help me understand this, all right? Are these things the regular performing arts students who pick, or you had to, you've clearly mentioned that you did extra, but were you the only one doing this? Were these things that were expected of the regular performing arts students back then?
Well, I would not say I was the only one who did extra. I wouldn't say that. And I believe that others also excelled. Yes, I mean, in my time, those were the times where we formed the Association of Performing Arts, and we came up with innovations, awards, and all of that. Those were great times. So I think that my colleagues, friends and all that, also did some things. I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the things that I think that when you do, you can get far than others, and then get to your goal. So that's very, very important. So obviously, people did their bits.
Ekow, at this point, had you decided fully on picking up performing arts as a career?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, totally. When I was doing those things on the stage of Baden Powell, on that altar where we do skits, I knew this was how I was going to end, and this is exactly how I was going to end. Honestly, if yes, I'm in corporate business. I do all of that, but if God is so good to give me the years, you would find me in front of the camera on the stage before you lower me down 6 feet.
I love that. That's motivation itself right there. So you did 4 years of performing arts in uni, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then after that, when did the whole career thing start for you?
Oh, while
you were still in school.
While we were still in school, because some of us were running away to go and do some things. They'll call you nafty, that kind of thing. And I remember Mrs. Yuenchi will tell you, no, that won't help you. Focus on your course. Focus on the practicals. Do the school thing. When you finish, you can do a lot more. And I took some learning from that as well. Yes, when they identify, the people out there come and watch our performances, and they identify some of us. I did an inspector calls, and I remember, people like even Ebo White and stuff came to see those things, and they could remember it's, an inspector calls, and Dr. Miles for witness for the prosecution, Hamlet, Othello, and all those things. You know, we played those roles with passion. You know, we learned those lines, and we never missed any of them. You know. That's the time where Martin Owusu would tell you, at this time you're dropping script, and woe betides you if you don't drop the script. Any lecturer will tell you, whoa, if you don't drop the script, that means that you must memorize everything and make sure that you're delivering the lines the way it should be delivered and act accordingly, according to how you've been directed. So yeah, we gave it all, and I knew that yes, this is it. Yeah.
While you were still in school, you got your breakthrough, if it's right to describe it like that. Do you remember your first experience on camera? For the movie side?
Yeah, I think. Okay, I can say something about that.
Okay,
and
talk to us.
And if Yasantua, Juliet Asante is probably listening, or somebody's listening, I still remember it. There was one movie we did, and at that time, you know, the stage thing had eaten so much into us, so we really wanted things done. Those were the times when we exaggerated on stage, you know. With stage, you have to exaggerate so that the person at the back can actually see what you were doing. So we were in front of camera, and Juliet was supposed to deliver a slap. And you know, the slap wasn't really landing creatively. You know, it's not supposed to be a real slap. It's supposed to, you know, pass it.
I think we call it awam.
You know, and I said, Juliet, you know what? I'm not feeling this thing because I need to react to the slap. And so, can you land? Can you really do this? I said,
on your request.
He said, Ekow, don't do this. I said, oh, Ekow, and she warned me like 5 times. He says, Ekow, please, I will slap you. I said, you. And then said, action. Okay, roll camera, action. And this lady slapped me. My God, I can never forget.
A real one.
I
but
took paracetamol. So that is some. I mean, and I took a lesson from them.
A big lesson.
Big one.
Wow.
You know, Juliet, I still remember that. You know, I mean, I can't remember the title of that movie, but I still remember that action. That it wasn't Sun City; it was something else. Yeah. And so, and then I remember the days of Sun City as well, where we did a lot of nice things.
We'll talk about Sun City still, but I mean, as a young guy who had studied in uni for 4 years, ideally, one would expect once you're done with school, you start bringing in some cash. At the basic, the initial stages of your acting career, were you making money? Was it coming in?
I think that there was only one that's, you know, and I was even shocked. I was called to do as one of the key soap adverts. I mean, very old key soap adverts. I was a lab technician, and yeah, I signed the thing with Lintas, and I saw the money. I was like, oh, whoa, that looks good. You know, I liked it. So that's where I started getting, but I wasn't really focused.
You were not really focused on the money.
It wasn't about the money. I was really excited about being called to do stuff, and I was happy with it. You know, when I started making money was when I joined Joy FM. Many people don't even know that I was a presenter.
I remember.
On Joy.
I remember.
You know,
very well.
did about 3 programs: the Joy Slow Jam, Jazz and Joy. You know, and even Roots Rocks, Roots Rock Reggae. You know, so those were days. Those were times when I was really doing quite a lot. And yes, that's how I got into Ghana Breweries from Joy FM. Yes, where I went to host their program called the Star Bumper Sticker promotion.
Okay.
And that's how I got into
That's
that.
how you got into that.
Yes.
All right, we'll get deeper into the business side of you getting into business and commerce on the side. But I'm still interested in us talking about the movie bit. You were definitely a part of the key players back then. I mean, around the time you got into Ghana's movie industry, how were things like back then as compared to now? Things that are happening in our movie industry back then, how things were running, the procedures, how difficult it was shooting on set. All that. Just run us through that a bit.
Well, our industry, as in the movie industry, can be better. Okay, because I speak from a person who has done the local and has been involved in international. So I can say it on authority that it can be better. The last time I was on set, I was telling somebody that, look, you know what? When I did the New Earth Rising, which is on Netflix, I had my own cubicle. I had my own room. You go and you put your character and everything, and you were there, and everything was done so right. I will not say that some of our producers are not doing well. They're doing
trying.
well. They try very much. I mean, people like Shirley or Ivan, Kwashika, they're doing very, very well. But I think that it's just a matter of budgeting. And so because we don't have the money, we can't afford to do those crazy things. It's not like they don't know. They know.
They know.
And there's the other class of people who really want to take advantage of the whole system. Yeah, they may have been given some amount of money, but then they have slashed it into three and working with one part of it.
And even sharing that one with you.
Yes. So it's not really doing that well. So I think that it could be better, and I think that many people should get involved. If we got more people really coming to support, I believe that it can get better. Because we've got very creative minds here. We've got people who've got creative abilities to write, and the actors are also there, and the commitment is also there. But I think the money is low.
I need two answers for this. The extreme side and your favorite or your most memorable moment on screen, which movie it was, and then your worst experience. I mean, beyond the slap you got. If there's any other situation, I mean, the worst moment on screen and the best one.
Well, my best moment on screen was with Checkmate. Yeah.
What about it?
Checkmate. Checkmate with Shelley, that's Spiral Productions. At that time, I was used to doing things my way. I was used to, suggesting moves, suggesting delivery, changing dialogue when I think it was right for me to change. When I got onto that set, I really got challenged. I mean, here you could find, yes, the director knows what she's about. Do it like this. And I realized that those were better than the ones that I suggested. So I really like that. And indeed, that's what people still talk about. They still watch Checkmate and they say, whoa.
It's one of my favorite pieces, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, you really, really delivered that. I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
And the other
And the
side.
worst. Yeah. I can't remember much of worst moments because I try to do nice things or try to do what I'm supposed to do.
Try to make the best out of every situation.
Bring it out the best. But in Sun City, I gave a delivery which I didn't know was profane. It was in Ghana. The one of the students came to me and wanted some more assignment. And in my driving him away, I said something which was, I thought was, I heard it. I'd heard it. So I had not done due diligence to that. phrase, but in Ghana it was profane.
It was a bit nasty.
Somebody actually called me and said, "How do you speak profane like that?" I was like, "What profane?" So I'm not going to.
You're not going. Yeah, we'll definitely not touch on it. I mean, they can go and watch. They can still go on YouTube and then go watch it. But I mean, Sun City it's still one of my favorite
because
productions.
Because you could relate to
it. On TV. And no, this is even way back. Sun City, and the nice thing about Sun City was a lot of us that grew up in Kumasi sort of like had eyes into Legon through that. It was the daily lives of
Mm.
these young guys doing their thing back then. How did that production come about? Whose idea was it? Bodi.
Brazzy. Brazzy. At that time, I had joined Ghana Breweries, so I was actually the sponsorship manager for Ghana Breweries. So Bodi Brazzy, I think he put some of the and I was also doing my masters at the School of Performing Arts. So we got together. I mean, he had written the scripts and everything, and said, "Look, guy, I need sponsorship. You are the guy. You're the brewery. So can you get on board?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, it looked like a good thing. It was a series. I mean, and campus life and everything. Everybody would like it. So I convinced my brand manager and then also the marketing director to get involved with Stabia. And once I was on, it was, I don't know, but already I was an actor, so Woody was interested in me, and I thought that it was also good that if we were representing our brand on that, probably, and we're doing brand placement and all that, I needed to be there to ensure that things were
and you were
done right.
involved as well, so you knew the kind of standard to bring out.
Exactly. So where they had bars where we put our mats and they use our glasses and everything, I needed to be there. So I think that's how Sun City started, and then we grew it.
Do you believe we can have a series of its caliber ever again on our Ghana street?
We don't have.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I mean, because after that, a few came. There was a Fiera, which took over heavily.
Still running.
Yes. There was Taxi Driver was before.
Yeah.
I saw Home Sweet Home.
Yes. That run with Sun City.
Yes. Same time. Do you think we're going to get to the point where, because I mean these ones are still running, but honestly you and I know Ghanaians are not that excited about series anymore like they used to, as compared to the kind of excitement we had back in the days. Do you think we're ever going to get back to that phase again where people will have a craze about a series? Sorry, there was YOLO as well.
Yeah. I mean those ones and things we do for love and
things we do for love.
See, those ones were on traditional linear TV. So I mean, you had no choice, really, to go there. I tell you, DSTV, I'm not... Yes, let me promote. DSTV has got some great things there now, and things like Dede, To Have and to Hold, Inside Out.
These are Ghanaian
productions. But you see, because it's not on traditional TV where everybody can see it.
There are a lot of options now, right?
Exactly. So if they were there, you see, because what I have realized about the day and all these things is that people are telling others, go and watch it, you will like it. And when they go and watch it, they get glued to it. So I think that they're so very great. And that's why I say that there are people who are doing great jobs there, we still have them, and so those are good things. Just that we don't have the money, and I can tell you that probably the day and the To Have and to Hold and all the Inside Out and everything, these are DSTV productions, so they put money into it. So once they put money into it, obviously.
To go that extra mile to ensure that it reaches the people.
Yes,
definitely. All right, we'll touch on the movies again, of course. You have a question for Ekow Blankson. He's right here with us. 0202222207. We're going to get into that in a bit. At what point did family come in? You raising your own family, madam, outside.
Well,
Because it all sounds too busy. You were busy on screen doing marketing, getting on radio at some point.
That's true. So before I got the job at Ghana Breweries, that was at age 26. No, 25 into 26. Around that time I had finished school and I'd come home. I was working for Metro TV as a presenter, and then Komla Dumo was my friend, so he said, hey, I'm sure you can do something on Joy. So I got into Joy. I went back home because now there was nothing to do on campus again. More or less I had to come.
And this was Tema?
Yes, Tema.
Okay.
And so I came home, and the Metro TV driver was the one who drove me home to pack my stuff. And he said, oh, there was this lady who I used to work for and everything, so let's pass by the person's shop. And I met the lady, and one thing led to another.
I pray you guys are watching on Facebook. The expression is beautiful. I mean, I love the new light I'm seeing in his face now at this point,
So that's So then, of course, Roxanne came, and then we thought, okay, it was important to make it formal. So we had a marriage of ordinance. So she was actually with me when when she was pregnant, when I graduated, my first degree graduation. So she was there. So most of my colleagues even know her. And then, yes, obviously we came, and then Roxanne came, and then we had to. But, so we had Roxanne, we had Rianne, and then we had Richard. But I was beginning to get too passionate with work, I mean, I'm the kind of person who would put work first. I have learned my lessons. I mean, most times family is also very important. But it's not like I was not giving family time at all. I was giving family time, but I gave it all when it comes to work. And so it used to hurt me when I set up something small with events management and I couldn't get people to behave like me.
You couldn't find your kind.
No. So it never worked. You could, I mean, the way I used to run with people's jobs,
People are not running with yours like that.
I take your idea and run with it, make sure that the execution is right, make sure that we do strategy and make sure that we put execution and everything. That is not happening. Again, I've come to it again. It's not happening. You don't find people taking other people, the jobs that people or ideas that people have come. So they are entrepreneurs and they are followers, and you don't find that. It's like that kind of thing, But you forget that, when you do that also, it helps you. So fast forward. Joanna and I mean, we things didn't go well. I won't go deeper into that. But there was it's not just about the work or anything, but there was something more to those things, and so I moved on. And it was in this career and everything. Pearl came, and then we had Rini and Rinel.
What's with the R? What's with the R?
Well, my name, my original name is Prince Richard Blankson.
And you've kept that away from us all these years.
So the Richard is very important to me, and I thought, okay, I needed to pass it on.
Let me make some more R's.
Yes. So then Rini and Rinel came in. And then there also things didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So yeah, so that also.
Did any of the kids take after you career-wise? Any of them into performing arts?
When they come home, all they do in their leisure time is write their own scripts and act it. And they're acting. They're always acting around. Everybody they write. I mean, Richard, he's in Akosombo now. He writes the scripts, and then Winnie Renell would then go look for props and everything.
Come act it out. Wow, beautiful.
And then they act it out. So sometimes it's very, very funny, and I'm recording, and So I think that's yes. They seem to like it, and Richard write books as well.
What other things making a family taught you about life? Things that, having a family instilled in you. Things that are still with you till date.
Yeah, so the thing about family, and I get that encouragement from a lot of friends and my external family, is that never give up your children. Okay? Never. Under no circumstance should you allow somebody else take care of your children. And that has lived with me. There's absolutely no way anybody will take care of my children. And they're always paramount. I don't know, but their mothers, I think, often are happy about it. I don't think that they are too jealous, but they're happy that at least there's a father to take care of their children. And so that's something that I have learned. Never be an irresponsible father. My father wasn't irresponsible, although he had his own sides as well. But I would never be irresponsible. I would always make sure that if the last dime I have must go to the kids to give them education or to give them something that will lift them up, that's what I do.
What, in your opinion, is the best gift a father can give to his children?
Education.
Education.
I wouldn't even let you learn. Education. That's the biggest thing you can give. And when I talk about education, it's not about just paying the fees and just sitting out there. No, that's not it. But following through to make sure that you understand who your child is, what the child can do, and offer advice. I mean, in doing that, make sure that you're working together with the teacher, to ensure that you actually understand. Let the child come home, look at the things that the child is interested in, try and create things that would make you, identify the child's talent and all of that. Take the child to church, make sure they are doing something, some activity. So those extracurricular activities and everything would help you to understand what the child can become and what the child likes most. And then you can now sit down and have a conversation. Have that conversation, that frank conversation. What do you really want to do? What do you think is good for you? These are some of the options that come with the things that you are talking about. Do you still want to do it? And things like that. Those are the things that we as parents must do
for our kids.
Yes.
So you gained a lot of experience, across a variety of, businesses and marketing units. You just touched on how you got into multimedia, and that when you got in, how different did things become for you? This was a new field. You had no training whatsoever in broadcasting, right?
Well, I'd done something little at GBC in terms of reading, but not
mainstream broadcasting.
Not mainstream broadcasting in using the console. But like I said, the performing arts gives you versatility, right?
It builds you for all kind of fields.
Exactly. So you once you see, you are able to observe and everything that I can do, and the voice comes to you and say, I can do this.
The aceto in you comes in.
Yes. Yeah. So once it comes into you that you can do it, I believe
you can make it happen.
You can make it happen. Yes, you make mistakes along the line, but yeah.
And then after that, at what point did Coca-Cola come in?
So, Okay, let me go back to multimedia broadcasting. So when I was doing all those things at multimedia Joy FM, I left, went to work for Ghana Breweries Limited.
Yes.
Then when I was working for Ghana Breweries Limited, then I had become a sales manager and all that, so I understood sales and the relevance of selling skills and everything. So Kwesi Asai, my friend, asked me to come and help his team at Adum in Tema. Okay, so I went there, helped the team to do selling and how to preparation for sales, you know, how you prepare to go, what you have to do when you're in the field, when you have to come back. I did all of those things. And then, we're going to be bought over by Guinness. So, Kwesi Chum and his team then said, oh, Ekow, come work for us. All right. So I went to Kumasi as the general manager for Love FM, and I set up Inshira FM actually with the team. I was then the general manager.
I think Love was around Amekom.
Yes.
I went to CAS. Kumasi
Yes.
can ride at the back. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Inshira FM, we had just then bought the business, so we turned into Inshira FM. So all the things that you hear in Inshira FM and everything, those were things that I did. So Kumasi was not good for me. I must say. I don't know, but it was difficult to now do some acting and stuff like that. So
was it because the industry there was quite different from what you had?
Yes. I was more of a glamour person and not the Kumasi. Although now I wish I'm doing some Chi stuff, Chi telenovela and Chiglish. I like to do more some of those. So at that time, Kumasi was not really good, and I'm not that rowdy person. At that time, they were cutting off people's hands and collecting their phones and things like that.
I remember very well.
And where I was living behind Ken UST, I was really
you
scared.
lived around the Ayeduase area, right?
That's where I was living. I wasn't very. So when the opportunity came for me to come back to Accra,
you're like, nah. This is it, God.
Okay, yes. So I had a conversation with Kwesi Chum, and then I came back to Accra, and it didn't take long. And Coca-Cola needed a trade marketing manager, so I joined Coca-Cola.
So you gave up the presenting.
Yes, and then went back into corporate business, which is doing Coca-Cola, and I worked for Coca-Cola for three years. There was a problem along the line. A certain manager came from South Africa, and didn't understand some things.
How things? You didn't understand how things worked here, right?
Yeah, because my team and I had done most of the things. I'd done most of the ideas.
You had done it your way.
Yeah, we had done it, and things were happening, and we're set up. So every time he thought he was bringing an innovation, he was told that, oh, this
you guys have
this has
already.
been done, and that kind of, this has been done. This is you did this, and so I became quite unpopular. He threw me to Tamale. Little did he know that I had studied as trade marketing manager. I had studied the market in Tamale.
I studied the terrain.
And knew what to put in place to make it work. And for the first time, the market in Tamale, we kept having. I was the best sales manager at the time.
You became the Joseph
because
of that time.
Yes, because he thought that he was just throwing me to a place where I couldn't do things, and where we had one hauler of products for say a month, we were getting 12 haulers in 2 weeks, and it was just going. I kept calling Accra, your empty bottles are here, come pick them up and replace them and everything. I became a star. Unfortunately, at that same time, Vodafone had also come. So because of the problems I was having with that, my boss, I just thought, well, it was time to move. But he later came to realize that I was a star for him. But I had already given my word to Vodafone, so I moved on to Vodafone.
What were? I mean, were you able to make friends at that point? Were you not too worried about the sudden changes? I mean, you were touching different fields, touching different brands, starting all over again.
Yeah.
Were you not afraid of new territories?
No.
What kept you going?
No. So me, I always say to myself, I'll be wild guy. I mean, I stood out there and I was eating my breakfast. Adaptability is something that comes with me easily. So if I have to work here in this studio, and there's no chair, there's no table for me, and
still
everything,
make it happen.
I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen as long as that is what I have been set to do. I have got an objective and everything. So adapting to the new terrains and everything was not a difficult thing for me, and I think that's something that again is something that people must learn. How do I adapt to a new environment, a new territory, a new market, a new country, new food, that kind of thing? Things are not going very well. How do I break it down? That kind of thing. So those are things that work. So it's not about, okay, yes, it's good sometimes to always keep going high, but life does not work that way. That you must keep. Yes, some people keep going, silver spoon people and all of that. But where you think that things will change, look at COVID. Look at what it did to us. If you don't know how to adapt to the situations that come with it, you would fail. You break down and you end up dying. So it's important that people know how to adapt, and that's one of the things
that has kept you going.
Yes. And also becoming a multiple doer. You can do one thing and do another thing, put them together without affecting any of the two. That's something that we need to learn.
You balance things.
And it comes with time management. It comes with discipline. It comes with knowing exactly what to do at one point, and also letting people believe in you. So people ask me, Ekow, how do you do all these marketing or corporate jobs and everything and still get time to act and excel in all? And I said, people believe, the people that I work for believe that I can do it. Because I have shown that it can be done, and there's time management. So I tell you ahead, if you're coming with your script and everything, I tell you, corporate business is what really pays me regularly.
Yes.
I can have your business, which is a one-off, but I can do it during the weekends when I'm probably not working, even though I work sometimes weekends. But listen, I work with time. I will come. If you tell me to come at this time, I will be there. I expect you
to be there
and
too.
the other people to be there so that we can work. By this time, I will finish and leave. Now, when it is time, like I say, by 12, I've got to go somewhere else. By 12, you have not finished, and you're coming to give me excuses and because of the people around and everything, I will stay and do it, but I won't come again.
The indiscipline will put you off. I love that. Within 4 years, Ekow, you had juggled around, 4 different roles at, both at regional and national levels. You just mentioned Coca-Cola, Brewery, you went to multimedia and that. Which one of these roles did you find the most challenging and exciting same time? 2 things, most challenging and exciting, because you just mentioned that situations are easy for you to adapt to, and you don't see anything anything that brings you down as something that can bring you down. You actually step up to the challenge. Means it's exciting for you. So which of these roles will be the most exciting yet challenging for you? Top.
This is a tough one because in everything I get myself involved in, I make sure that I'm happy with it. If I'm not happy with it, I leave it. I do the honorable thing. So I most of all the jobs that I have done, I've been very happy with, The ones that I have left earlier than normal, I would say I was not very happy with things that were happening around it, and so I leave it. And immediately once I find that this thing is not really the way it is, culturally or professionally or business-wise and everything is not really there, then I step back and let somebody do it. I don't force myself to do things when I think that somebody probably can do it better.
Yeah.
Yes. So in terms of, but I've loved everything. I still think that Ghana Brews is the
right?
family that I would never have. Ghana Brews. That's. I don't know whether it was because of the first, but we all keep talking about it. That was great family. Indeed, we had fun.
You had fun.
We had fun.
Beautiful. I'm sure they're listening now and will definitely smile on this. Yes, Charles, going out to them. Now, years on, after handling all these 4 positions, you went back to the media space.
Yes.
You had the great comeback.
Yes.
What I want to find out is what was it about being in that space that captures your imagination, and what motivated your comeback? What about the media space really? Beyond the interest that you had in the studies that you had, was it right to say you were coming back to your first love?
Yes, you are right. Indeed, when I was leaving Vodafone to TV3, that is Media General, that was my motivation. I said to me, hey, I'm going back. This is what this is what I like. Especially with the acting career, because acting career really is media. It's a means of communication. So obviously it's media, and so I like to go back. And I was really excited to go to work for Media General as a director of brands and corporate communications. Yes, but I think that probably I should have taken my time. And so I rushed into it too quickly. It was exciting, but I think I made some mistakes because coming from the corporate FMCG into the media, I needed to be careful. So my adaptability skills, ran while I was like probably doing things from the FMCG multinational ways of looking at things, and so I made some mistakes, and that's how come I didn't stay long at Media General, and then I moved to Water Health International.
Yes, that was what I was going to touch
That's
on.
very funny. So again,
How did that come about?
because I thought that I had not taken my time. You understand? I had not taken my time to study how the media system works. Although I knew it,
Yeah, you knew what we were.
I had moved away from
There had
it.
been a lot of changes.
Yeah. People say media is mafia, right?
I think that's fair enough. Media be mafia.
Mafia. That's what they say. But and everybody's protective of what they're doing, and so it's quite. So I went to Water Health, which is also another corporate business, and then I loved it. I loved it because it had this NGO feeling where you needed to give water to the underserved, and gave me an opportunity to travel around the country, also travel to India and to America to study other technologies, and then my love for technology began to rise, because all this time I was in marketing, so it was more sometimes how the machine works, and then, but then you were not really
Into
deep
that,
it.
yeah.
So I understood how technology works and everything, and how we could do things differently, and I was excited about it, and I stayed with it for quite a bit, for some time. I think 3 to 4 years I worked for Water Health, and that was great time. I mean, like now I know how reverse osmosis works.
All the science words that we run away from back then.
Yeah, and so it was great. It was great to learn those things. From there, I think I was approached by my man, Nico Tejani, to work for the Ideal. That is Group Ideal. I mean,
Ideal Finance.
Ideal Finance, yes, and all the so to do the corporate communications and branding strategy, head of director for strategy. So then again, here's the adventurous Ekow who wanted to try every industry. So I thought, finance. I don't like it, but
why not?
Yeah. And so I was excited. Then I told my water guys, hey, you know what? I think it's time.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it was what it is. It's time. Besides, they were even bringing too many Indians, and that was pissing me off.
Wow.
So but I wasn't really angry too. I don't leave a job because I'm angry. No, I'm not. I make sure that I have my head leveled before. So I went to work for Ideal, and there I knew that yes, I could do a lot more. I could do a lot. So I worked for the finance, and we actually set up a conglomerate. I mean, we had about 14 companies. I mean, I was part of setting up all these, most of these companies, although Ideal, Capital Partners, and the First Trust Savings and Loans were already set up. And we even set up a water company as well, which I managed as well.
Oh, did that influence come from your experience with
my experience with the water and everything. So I went to look at an opportunity at media, and I thought, it was a great thing. So the boss wanted it as well. So
let's make it happen.
Yes, make it happen. And then I'm sure we all know what happened to the finance, and unfortunately, we lost the licenses. But honestly, I had meant to. That was going to be my last place of work, because I really knew where we were going, and taking it until things went down. I still kept it because TV Africa was part of the group, and so I went into TV Africa to try and get it running. And I worked there for 2.5 years. I had already worked there before, but worked again.
You came back in a different capacity.
Yes. Then and that's for you as well at YFM. I'm sure you'll be looking at this traditional media. Yes, you got Geopol telling you who's listening to you and that kind of thing, but you really can't. We all knew that the future is with online.
Yeah, it's digital.
Exactly.
That's what's happening now. We're here. I mean, having an interview, and it's being streamed. I'm actually watching myself
and
now.
And then you actually see the number of people who are probably watching and all of that. So that's the kind of thing that we. So again, I've been looking for that opportunity. To really become to help in the new Africa. How can we grow and make sure that there are lots of people that we can actually tell are actually listening to us, or listening to the good things that we are saying and all of that.
So the mileage you have on the ground.
What kind of mileage?
Realistic,
what kind of thing? Yeah, exactly. And not superficial.
Yeah.
Not things that you're thinking, it's probable that these number of people are, I wanted to get into that space. And guess what? Africa Web
came about.
Yes. Ghana Web is the number one website in Ghana. I mean, by Alex.
Without a doubt.
Yes. I mean, apart from Google and YouTube, it's Ghana Web. And when I was approached, I didn't even know it was Ghana Web. surprising. I bluffed. I'm always bluffing, actually. So it was. It came as advertising.
I like how Ekow is honest with himself.
Yes.
Ekow won't wait for you to tell him. He will tell you, listen, I'm like this.
Yes.
Just so you don't have anything else to say. Bring something else on board. Yeah.
So it came as advertiser and publisher solutions. I was like, who are these? I never heard about it. So advertiser and publisher solutions, Ghana Limited, are actually the managers of Ghana Web and Africa Web subsidiaries. So it took me a bit of time, and then the person who called me said, "Look, Ekow, try this." I go, "Oh, no." So I said, okay, give it a shot. Go and read about it. And when I went to the website to read about it, I was like, oh, so say Ghana Web.
Why were you confusing me with African Web?
And then it didn't give me any two ways about it. I got involved. It was something that I really had been looking for an opportunity to go. I wanted to do this with water health, go Africa, help the communities in Africa. But I think that Africa Web stands as a better place in terms of digital, online technology, that we can go out there and build societies, build communities, enhance things that are happening within communities.
Yes, help them buy into the digital growth idea.
And in digital growth, you can do so many things. It's not all about news and everything, but it can be many things. The NGOs, the different things you're doing, partner with other people as a publisher.
Go into finance, everything, health.
Exactly.
Yep.
So this is what we are up to. We are in Ghana, Ghana Web. We're in Tanzania Web, Cameroon Web, and Nigeria. Very soon, we're very hopeful that we will add some more African countries. To our portfolio and to our brand, and then we'll keep growing. I can see ourselves from 6 years now that we will be in 20 African countries and helping to grow. What we are doing is that everything that we're piloting all the things that we are doing now here at Ghana Web, and you see a replication of those in all the other African countries.
You launch it here, and then you implement it on the Africa platform as well.
Correct.
Recently, Ghana Web introduced, TV content to its portfolio. What has been the general response from your patrons? I mean, how is it going?
You'll be amazed at what you would see. We already have some programs, Ghana Web TV. It's I don't know who has done it, but we are on it with AVOD, so advertiser-based video on demand. Will be 24-hour, and you can always find us on our navigation buttons when you come to the platform, and that's what Ghana Web also stands for. That's one of the different things that I'm talking about with regards to innovation and making sure that Africa has the best of things. So if we have got that platform that's got the numbers, in terms of audience, 3 million page views in a day, 4 million page views in a day, obviously those numbers, some of those numbers would definitely look at videos. We'll look at the things that we are doing, entertainment, business, news. In actual fact, some people may not want to read so much, but when they see the videos, they appreciate it. So that's how the people are happy about it, and it's good for business as well. Business owners now they want to see who are the people who have seen my advert, and Ghana Web gives you that.
All right. One personal question. Since we're touching on Ghana Web, are we ever getting to the point where we'll break things down, introduce local dialect communication on Ghana Web? Maybe we could have a true version of the site. Is this something that might be considered?
Are you in the spirit?
Maybe flesh and blood did not reveal this to me.
because our video is in Chi.
Okay.
As in the news,
Yeah.
the news
Chi.
news flashes and the news bulletins will be in Chi.
Great.
Yes.
All right. So we have that part answered. We're definitely looking forward to a great one. But Ekow, it's been a great conversation today. One thing I want to ask you, right? What should be the key indicators a young man, young woman should look out for when they want to switch between corporate brands? What are the things you look? Is it money? You clearly were not moved by money.
No.
You just wanted to challenge yourself.
And still, I'm not moved by money at all. I mean, what I'm used to and what I am getting now is not the same, you know. But it shouldn't. Money should not move you. For me, I think that what should move you will be satisfaction. Okay, satisfaction, and then what can you do for your company? Now I'm sounding
Your
like
contribution.
like an American president, right? Don't ask what your country can do for you.
What can you do for your country?
Yes, what can you do for your company? How can you move the company forward? And begin not to think that I am doing this for my company and then, you know, it's not about me.
It's for yourself.
No. For me, if you do it for your company, you can then talk about it. I'm sitting here and talking about things that I probably have done, you know, and things that how I've moved and all that. And it adds up to your experience. Today, everybody's asking for level of experience, you know. So it's very important that we look at, yes, we're passionate about the things that we do. Second of all, money should not be driven, should not drive us. And then third of all, what can you do? What contribution? What extra value are you bringing to the business that you are doing? Is it your own business or is it somebody else's business? What is that value that you are adding? Yes.
Key indicators.
Correct.
All right. Are we retiring with Africa Web? The initial plan was to do it with what's the name? Ideal. Group Ideal. And you know what happened.
Yes.
All other things being held equal. Are we retiring with Africa Web?
So I took a learning.
Okay.
When I said that I was retiring with Group Ideal.
So you're not saying that no
I
more.
don't want to say
Okay.
anything.
All right.
But I mean, I'm excited. I mean, what we are doing is great. We've got great innovators. And the good thing about Africa Web is that we've got some very young, talented guys. And if I can get 1,000 guys to come into Ghana Web to come and see how focused these guys are, you know, and how determined they are to make the numbers, it will help a lot. Today, when I was coming to this studio, I was walking by, I saw some boys just walking about. I'm like, telling some of these guys, I'm sure they've even gone to school and everything.
You've had the experience.
But you see, it's either I don't know what to do, I'm trying anything else, I'm trying game, you know, the Game Boys thing, fast money.
I'm trying game.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that people should be focused. They should know exactly what they want to do. Okay, me, I knew that I wanted to work. I was passionate about it. I could move to another industry and it worked for me. I could move into another and it worked for me. That kind of thing. But at least I knew that I was not an entrepreneur. I could follow through. If you want to be an entrepreneur, focus on it and do it. Try something. And when you fail, try it again. You know? But don't throw the youth should not throw their hands in the air and say,
We are the future. So is it that we hold it now or Ekow, how do you measure success? We've had a lengthy conversation. Money is not the motivation. You're moved by challenging yourself with new tasks, things that will bring or unearth new abilities in you. In all this, in your years of working for all these multinational companies, how do you measure success? And what's the most valuable mantra for your life, with your life? What do you move with? What moves you? I'm keen on understanding that.
So I go back to description. What is your job description? So that's how I will measure my success. If I'm giving a description and I'm expected to perform at 100% of that description, I will do 150 to 200. That's adding value. Because if I do 100%, what it means is that I have just kind of done my job. You know, and I could be replaced anytime, any day. But if you do more, then you are valuable. Then you're seen as that person who is almost indispensable.
You're a gem.
Yes. That's how I measure success. So if you're in my team, I expect that you do a little more than what you've been asked
to do.
Or you're asked to do, or has been asked of you.
You add extra value.
Extra value is always important. And always use that, even at home as well. What is expected of you? What is expected? You know, do a little more.
This is also on the other side. In your lifetime, what advice would you describe as the best that you've been given? I mean, from other people. What's the best advice you've been given? And from who?
Oh, do not expect what you don't inspect.
Okay.
Do not expect what you don't
inspect.
That has been one of that's the best advice I've ever had, and I work with it. The other thing is overcoming objections.
Okay.
Yes. And that also has helped me in many ways. And there's steps of overcoming objections. Keep cool and calm, acknowledge, overweigh it, and make sure that you can calm it up with experience and say, look, is this what you're talking about? And then you can close. I always look at that one, but the most is, if I want to see something happen, I always inspect it.
Okay.
Do we always do that? We always do that?
Not always.
We always give things up and say, hey, this should happen, and then we just no. Let's inspect it. Let's know what.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on Jerry. He's in Tanzania. He used to say that when I was in Vodafone.
Ekow, are you still glued to the general entertainment scene in Ghana? Lately, you know what's happening in the entertainment scene.
Yes. I seem to know a bit of what's going on. Yes, and so yeah.
Okay. If you're not working, if you're not acting, in your situation, I think acting, that's usually one of the the leisure things people do is your main it's your main job. Like, you do that's business for you. So if you're not doing that, you're not in a corporate scene doing your corporate businesses, what are you doing? What do you calm yourself with if you're free?
I watch TV.
You watch TV?
Yeah, I watch TV. I watch movies and I read.
You watch movies and you read.
I read everything.
Okay.
And that's another thing.
You read wide?
Yes.
Okay.
Read everything. I read everything, but I keep the best. You understand?
I get it.
It's a very... You read. See anything I see, I read it. Is it important to me? Yes. Okay. Then I read further. You understand? That kind of thing. So I see everything. I read everything. Once I've got the time, I read it. But I also watch TV.
All right. On TV, and of course, you said you love movies. Can you give me your first or your top 5, actors, actresses in Ghana?
Ekow Blankson.
Number 1?
Don't put me through that.
Let's go through it. Okay, who are you watching? Who are you taking particular interest in? Are you seeing yourself? Are you seeing yourself in any?
I mean, sometimes
the young guys.
Sometimes I'm working and then I'm listening. I'm also, I'm not watching the TV. But once my voice comes through, I flip. I'm like, oh, there it is. It's me. I'm able to recognize my voice, but I don't like watching myself. Yeah, but I like watching my colleagues. My colleagues are great. Ajetiana, Fred Amugi, Ajololo, Don Domelo. I mean, we're quite close, and all. I mean, that's why I didn't want to mention it, but everybody, all my colleagues, Peter Richie, Prince, all the guys are great.
I followed you for a while. You're doing great things in the corporate industry. You've touched on a few things. There are a few of your colleagues who are also into politics. Honorable Jifago Mashi,
yes.
Honorable John Dumelo.
Yes.
Recently, Honorable Marco Krekumante became, Deputy Creative Arts Minister. A lot of them are branching into different things, and it just tells me that we're capable of doing greater things. Everything we touch, we can make gold out of. I'm going to take one question, all right? Just one question from our listeners, and I have that question already. I think I jotted it down along the line. It's coming from Selasi Doku, who's always, with us here on Wiley the Boss Series. She sent this one on WhatsApp. She wants to find out, all right? I think it's 2 questions in one. Says, Uncle Ekow, do you think theater can be the messiah of Ghana's movie industry? And also, do you think there's a future? Are we going to get better anytime soon? Ghana's movie industry. 2 things. Are we getting better? Can we get better? And then would theater be the messiah?
Well, we're getting better. Things will get better. I'm sure that theater now is close, but it's got a future. It's got a future in our industry, big time.
Do you believe every actor should have a theater background? Should that be a beginner course for any actor?
I think so. And if you watch very closely, those who have done it well, have been on the stage, and it's a discipline that you have to learn from the very beginning. Yeah.
Ekow, thank you so much for staying with us on Wiley the Board Series. I mean, we've learned a lot. I've picked bits and bits of everything from this interview. Usually I'll run up with you giving an advice to the young ones, but you've done that already. Thank you so much. And on behalf of Global Media Alliance, YFM in particular, I would like to say a big thank you.
Thank you
for coming through, and wish you the very best in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I'm delighted I was here.
All right.
Congratulations. You found the one station that plays Ghana's best urban music.
I like to come up with a song on the radio.